reason I'm standing here today is because of these people, the support that they had for me, constantly pushing me, encouraging me every step of the way. And I really can't stress enough importance on surrounding yourself with the right people. It really is important to surround yourself with people who know where they're going, who are headed in the direction that you want to be. So, a couple weeks ago when Alex had kind of approached me, he's like, hey, we're going to do a regional training. I want you to speak at it. I was like, all right, awesome. Just let me know what you want me to talk on, and I'll kind of prepare for it. And he got back to me about a week later. He called me. He's like, Garrett, I found the perfect topic for you. I figured it out. I'm like, all right, well, what is it? He's like, I want you to speak on mindset and attitude. All right, this is the part where you guys all go, wow. So mindset and attitude. Right, I know, right? But that wasn't my initial thought. When Alex had first said that to me, I was like, wow, that's kind of lame. I want to do some teaching. But when I kind of took a step back, I realized that, if this were like the national convention, this is basically the topic they give to Bob Proctor. So when I realized I had to be the Bob Proctor of this regional training, the pressure was really on. And what I realized, this is a topic that not only is the key to success in this business, but really the key to success in life. And so I kind of got a couple things I'm going to talk about today just to kind of give you guys what I found to really be life-changing. I can honestly say for myself, learning how to master this has been something that has completely changed my life. So, throughout my life, I've had a lot of people ask me this question. And for a very long time, I could never really pinpoint an answer. I didn't really know how to answer the question. People would always say, Garrett, how is it that you're so young, but you carry yourself, you act, you speak like somebody who's so much older? And I'd always say things like, my parents raised me well, I had older siblings. I could never truly figure out what it was. And it wasn't until recently that I really figured out why I was so different. And what it was is I developed a mindset that most never develop, and some don't develop until it's too late. And that's the mindset of a successful person. And as young people, I want to encourage you guys, being in this room today, just because you are young, just because you're 18, 19, 20 years old, does not mean you have to fit the mold of every 18, 19, 20-year-old kid. If you want something, do something different. If you want to be like everybody else, you can be like everybody else. But I encourage you, don't feel like you have to follow everybody else. So I know for a lot of us in this room, when we kind of got started in this whole thing, we didn't really understand what we had just gotten involved in. I know for myself, I was excited to make money, excited to be able to help people, but I did not understand network marketing. I did not understand, what I was going to do with this whole business. And I think Eric Worre says it's best. Network marketing, it isn't perfect, but it's just better. And it's important to realize that you guys have found a better way. And at such a young age, it's absolutely remarkable that we're learning to build an asset that's going to pay us passive residual income the rest of our lives. So realize and understand that you've found a better way. You're in the right place at the right time with the right people, but it's important that you're aware of it as well. So what does it mean to have a winning mindset? What does it mean to have a winning attitude? I think for me, it starts with this one simple concept, and that's belief. Belief is stronger than proof, because without the initial belief, the proof could have never been created. So I always think it's interesting, to kind of take a step back and think about the definition of impossible. What is really impossible? And if you look back through history, impossible is only impossible until it's done. The obvious ones, things like the light bulb. That still blows my mind. The fact that, we can walk in a room, flip a switch, and an artificial light source comes on. The only natural one we have is the sun. That just absolutely blows my mind. The fact that we put a man on the moon. Or the fact that we could take everybody in this room, put you in a piece of metal, and fly you over an ocean. So I understand that in this business, we have a lot of people that look at us and say, that'll never happen. That's impossible. You can't do that. But it's not true. It's only impossible because you've yet to do it. It's only impossible because you've yet to show them that you're going to do it. So I encourage you guys, Henry Ford said, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. So it's important to start believing in yourself, believing for a matter of fact. You need to know, as sure as the sun's going to come up tomorrow, that you're going to make this work for you. You need to know, as sure as I'm standing on this stage right now, that you're going to be a six-figure income earner in Beamer. And your thoughts become things. If you think about it enough, if you truly believe it, it will happen. So where do you begin? Where does this all start? I think, for me, it starts with attitude. Attitude is extremely important. I think it starts with the realization that success will come before riches. You will become successful before you will become rich. So realize that your attitude kind of works like a mirror. You get back what you put out. Society will reflect how your attitude is. If you're a very positive person, you carry yourself that way when you're talking to other people, they're going to react to that. They're going to be positive to you. So it's important to constantly have a good attitude. The people who win in this business are the people that wake up every morning with a disgusting level of positivity. No matter what, they're going to carry out the rest of the day with a high level of positivity. And, it's really, I think it's safe to say that most of the people who have made it in this business, Tom Alcazar, Brad Alcazar, Patrick Comer, they don't have good attitudes because they're rich. They don't have good attitudes because they become successful. They're successful because they had a good attitude. And that's something really important to remember. And, Ian kind of brought that up to me the other day, and it really blew my mind. I never really thought about it like that. So it's important to always have a really good attitude. I think just recently, I always used to wonder, why are so few people successful? Why are there not a lot more successful people out in the world? And I think, what I've come up with is that the fact that it's so hard to be different. Everybody's moving in this direction, and in order to be successful, you truly have to break away from the mediocre to pursue the extraordinary. There's a lot of pressure on us, especially as young people, to stay average, to stay mediocre. And because we do something different, people will look at you, they'll say that's not going to work. You're an idiot, you need to quit, you need to get back in school. People will tell you all these things so that you keep going with the flow. But it's important that, you chase what means most to you. It's not like we have a restart button or there's a dress rehearsal. We get one shot at this life. So it doesn't make sense to me why you would spend the one life you have doing something that you don't want to do. Spending a life miserable doing something that doesn't make you happy. Because you're not going to get a shot at redoing it. At least that's what I believe. So I encourage you guys, protect your mind. Ian says it best, I feel like the majority of us in here wouldn't let some stranger come to your house and steal your valuables. We wouldn't let somebody come in and steal your computer, your TV, your verb, whatever. So why would you let somebody come into your mind and steal your core beliefs? We put so much value on these things like cars, watches, houses, but all those things can be bought. What is truly priceless came to us free. Our mind, our ability to think, decide, love, all these things came to us free, so why would you not protect that? So that brings me to my last point, and then I'm going to wrap it up. In the book Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill tells a story about a group of soldiers that arrive on the shore of enemy territory, and he orders them to burn the ships. So his soldiers, they all burn their ships, and really what he did is he gave them two options. We either succeed and come out victorious, or we die. More than likely most of us in this room won't die, but my point being is that eliminate any option for retreat. Having a plan B is going to distract from plan A, and I believe that firmly. It's important to be all in. My football coach always used to say this, and we'd laugh. He'd say, don't straddle the fence because you're going to bust a nut. And that hurts. So I encourage you guys, pick a side of the fence. Don't try to straddle the fence. Don't try to, be halfway in, or I'll try beam out. I'll kind of give it a shot, see if my friends make money, see if I can enroll the right person. Make the decision to go all in. Make the decision to be all in for this company, to be all in for your future. Because if you straddle the fence, you're going to bust a nut like Coach said. Kind of lost my train of thought. As most of these leaders will tell you, this is the side of the fence you want to be on. Life is good. I can honestly say, through understanding the, importance of mindset and attitude, I haven't had a bad day in like 5 months since I started this thing. So never stop building your mind, never stop growing your mind, and always have a positive attitude. And I'm going to leave you guys with this last quote. And I found this quote to be, really life-changing for me. And it's a quote from the Western American philosopher, Dr. Patrick Comer. Don't be arrogant.